Hello and welcome back to my studio. I'm Kara of Lady Fox Stitches. I'm a long arm quilter located in northern Nevada. Today I have a pile of quilts to show you, so I think we can just jump right on in. The first quilt today is a quilt by Sharon. This one is called Circle of Friends, and it's a pattern by Pam and Nicky Lintott, and I will make sure to put a link to their pattern in the description box below. This is a very striking quilt, and it's nice and big. Sharon made it as 90 by 90. I want to make sure I get it right side up. Yeah, here we go. So it is these friendship stars placed in wreaths, and Sharon used all these really fun and very bright fabrics. You see those, including some from the line called Maeve. It's really fun, really beautiful. Her backing is this nice big pink floral. It's kind of like a silhouette. Oh, it's so yummy. I think it's really beautiful. The background, she said, is a Bella Solid called Lingerie, and it just kind of has this nice taupe color. Just a really nice neutral. And the pantograph on this one is called Arbor Ridge. There's a couple different kinds of flowers, some pearls. It turned out really nice. The flowers are about the size of my fist. Let's see, right about like this. So just about fist size on those flowers. Really cute. The thread color is Glide, and it's called Warm Gray, and it really blends into this background really well. Just a really nice neutral. The batting in this one is 100% cotton, and this is a quilter's dream. It's their mid-loft level. So it's nice and weighty, mostly because it's just a really big quilt. It finished at 90 by 90. So it's a really, let me get up here. See if I can't hold it up for you better. I think it's five friendship stars across by 5 friendship stars down. Or these, I should say, circle of friendship stars. Anyway, really beautiful. So I'm excited for Sharon to get that quilt back. Okay, the next quilt I have to share with you is a little bit of a secret project. We're not too worried about the recipient of this quilt seeing this video, so I think it's okay to show and talk about. It's a t-shirt quilt. Let me hold it up for you. This one is a collection of high school t-shirts cut into squares, and Lori backed each of the t-shirt squares with a stabilizer, an interfacing. There's even these fun, like this one right here is embroidered with this school logo right here, and the machine, the Bernina, stitched right through it with no problems. It's kind of a pretty hefty little embroidery. But you can see all these fun school t-shirts, football and track and field and all kinds of fun things. So that's pretty great. The backing fabric is a black wide back. It's kind of got these kind of circular motifs. Looks really nice, works really good with the school colors. And the pantograph, let me get the in so you can see it, is called Diagonal Plaid Bias Cut. I like this one a lot because of the kind of geometric design, but it has rounded corners, as you can see. And so it just stitches out really smoothly. The machine doesn't really have to slow down as it goes around the corners because of the roundness. When they're pointed, when they come to a stop and change direction perfectly, it does slow the machine down as it does that. But this really nice overall texture. The batting in this one actually is wool. Lori wanted there to be a puff factor, and there really is inside here. It really gives it tons and tons of texture. It's a big quilt. This one measures 85 by 85, and so it's quite hefty and will be really great on a bed, or, you know, especially to use like in the winter time, just because it's so weighted. It's going to be really, really fabulous. The thread color is Glide in light gray. And of course, that's kind of the most neutral one for this set of colors, and it blends in perfectly. So really excited about this t-shirt, and Lori will be getting this back shortly. Okay, quilt number 3 is a quilt sample from my local quilt shop. This is a quilt that can be purchased in a kit, and I'll make sure to link in the description box to that kit when I find it online. This is a square quilt. It comes to about 57 by 57. This is Christmas. So this fabric line is called Holly Jolly, and it's a Victorian Christmas, and it's a panel quilt. So it comes with a panel, and then of course it's cut up and then pieced into this really nice quilt. Really beautiful. On the back of this quilt, there is a kind of distressed gray and white wide back, and the thread color is Glide in linen. The pantograph is called Christmas Poinsettia. Let me see if I can show you the flower. So it's a Christmas poinsettia with a smaller flower on the inside, and then a bigger, you know, those petals that go out, and then it has these little kind of round, they're not berries, but the center part of the flower has the little round stitches, and it just goes all the way across the quilt with these big poinsettias all the way across. It's really perfect pantograph, actually, I think, for this particular quilt. The batting was provided by the quilt shop, and it didn't have a brand on it, but it's really, really nice batting. It's stitched up perfectly, so really great, lovely Christmas quilt. It's kind of that time of year when we're thinking ahead about what we want to make for the holidays and the fall, and so it's pretty fun. We're seeing more and more Christmas type quilts and Halloween quilts as well. Okay, the next quilt is a really super special quilt. When I saw it, I just about fell over. I think it is the cutest, most beautiful quilt, and of course it uses Tilda fabrics. So every fabric on the front is a Tilda, including the solids, and this is a free pattern called Hen House. Again, it's by Tilda. So you can, I'll make sure to link to that pattern as well in the description box. Okay, I'm going to hold this quilt up. You guys are going to die over how cute and beautiful this quilt is. Look at this. Okay, you see that? Look at these darling girls with their pigtails. Oh my gosh, so cute. And the little hens at their feet by their boots. And then there's a hen in each of the hen houses. The little blue polka dot hen in there. Guys, look at this most beautiful fabric. I think most of it is Tilda Wallflower. Gorgeous. There's probably some Tilda basics in here as well, the polka dots and stuff, plus the solids. Each of the little girls has French knots for eyes. Each one, they're so cute. Oh my gosh. I just can't get over how beautiful this quilt is, how beautiful the fabrics are, how cute these girls are. Oh, I die. Love it, love it, love it so much. This particular pantograph is called Sploosh, and it's got swirls and echoed feathers. I think it matches and goes really well with the style of quilt. The backing fabric is a green mottled, and this is not a Tilda fabric, but it's beautiful, and it pulls out the greens in the front of the quilt perfectly. You can really see the pantograph on the back of this. Really, really beautiful. Of course, there's strings everywhere. It's the story of a quilter's life, right? All those strings. The thread is warm gray, and that's a glide, and the batting is 100% cotton, and that's a quilter's dream batting. I'm just really excited for my customer to get this quilt back. I think she's really, really gonna love it. It is absolutely stunning in person, and I just can't get enough of it. So beautiful, great job. Okay, I was able to work on a quilt as well, and I'm really excited about this one. I've shown you the pattern before. This is Scrappy Sunflowers, and it's a Lella Boutique pattern by Vanessa Gertzen. Really cute. I want to hang this up once it's quilted in my entryway / hallway. I think it's going to be really cute. I did change up the pattern a little bit because I decided I wanted it to be a scrappy, low volume background. And so some of the large background pieces I kind of cut up and pieced using a variety of low volumes. And all the fabrics in this quilt top are from my stash, and I just used some scraps and put everything together, and I am loving it. So let me hold this up for you. Look how cute this is. Let me move this chair real quick. So it has 5 sunflowers, all different heights, big long green stems, lots of fun yellows. I kind of put these black and gray flower centers in every one. Yeah, so cute. Look at all those fun scrappy yellow ones. Isn't that great? Yeah, and there you can see the background fabrics. Just lots of different ones for my stash. All those fun low volumes. These cute. Get down here, there we go. Can you see those cute backgrounds? Love it. I'm really excited. I think this is going to stitch up really nice. I did pick up a backing from my local quilt shop that will go on the back, and we'll get this quilted up shortly. I really want to get it up and have it up for, August, September, when the sunflowers outside are blooming in the backyard and along the highways and all that. So really great. And it was a pretty quick pattern to put together, especially once those half square triangles were all trimmed up and squared up. Everything went together really quickly. So I'm really excited about that fun pattern. I was so excited about my sunflower quilt that I didn't work too much on my Gleaming quilt, if you remember, from the Liberty box. This is the pattern that came in it. I did get 2 blocks all the way done. they're exactly the same. But I did get all of my half square triangles trimmed and ready to go. So now once I just sit down, I can just sew every block together, and I think that'll come together pretty quick. I lost a little momentum on it there for a second, but I think we're back at it, and I'm motivated to not leave it as an unfinished project, but to actually get it, at least the quilt top, finished and put together so that we can move on to something else fun. Last week, I was able to spend an incredible week with my mom, my sister, and a niece and a nephew. They came into town to visit, and we had such a great time. The girls sat around sewing, and we quilted. We had, at one point here in my studio, 4 sewing machines being sewn on at the same time, plus the long arm running. So it was a busy and happening place. We had my daughter over with her 3 little boys, and so they were around playing, and it was just a really great time. At one point, the boys, so my son-in-law, my nephew, and my husband, went out to our local reservoir on my husband's John boat and did a little fishing. And then the next night, they drove up into the mountains and spent the night camping, and then were able to do a little more fly fishing. My nephew really wanted to learn, and he had the opportunity to get out there and catch some beautiful brook trout. So that's what they did. They had a really good time. But here in my studio, it got a little crazy and loud and fun with the laughing and the sewing and the chatting. It was just a really, really wonderful time. I mean, really, life's about family and loved ones and caring for each other. And so I was just really grateful for the opportunity I had to spend some time with my mom and my sister. My niece got to sew a little bit too. She made her first quilt top. She dug through some of my scraps and created a nice patchwork top, and she practiced her seam allowances, keeping things consistent. So that was really fun to help her with. She did leave that quilt top with me so that we can get that quilted up for her. And then also my mom and sister each left a quilt or 2. So I have plenty of quilts to long arm here in the next little bit before I get to see them again in September when we have a family reunion. My daughter hasn't sewn too much. She did receive a sewing machine for her high school graduation present, and she is getting excited about quilting now, and she started her first quilt last week, and she made great progress on it. It's just a patchwork square quilt made of squares, but she's decided to put it on point, and so that was fun to be around her as she worked on that and made really, really good progress, like I said, and I'm excited for her to get into quilting. I get really excited when I see new quilters join the quilting club. They catch that quilting fever, and we start talking fabrics and cutting and patterns, and it's just a really good time. As we know, quilting can be a very social hobby, but it's also very naturally isolating, and so it's really just amazing when you can get together with your quilting friends and family members and get a little sewing in. As a long arm quilter, I get to see quite a few quilts come through the door, and I load them onto my long arm, and so I have kind of this up close personal look at all these quilts that come through, and I am just thoroughly impressed with people and their skills and their abilities, their talents, the way they put fabrics together and do these patterns. I've had some really amazing quilts that I get to help finish for people, and I consider it such a pleasure and a privilege. I have a couple of tips for brand new quilters. As my niece and my daughter were both kind of brand new at quilting this last week, I kind of narrowed in on 2 things that I think will help produce the most accurate and best quilt tops, especially as a new beginner. If you are just beginning to quilt, I would highly recommend that you practice your seam allowances, making sure that as you sew your pieces together, your seam allowance stays consistent. It is standard to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance on our quilts, and I would check those seam allowances and just really practice being straight and accurate on those. Taking time to line up your fabrics, pinning when necessary. I think that makes the greatest improvement or greatest impact on your quilting, is just that, keeping that accurate seam allowance. And the second thing is having good pressing techniques. When you stitch seams together, it is very important, or it's very helpful to get good quality results, to press properly. Making sure that you're pressing your seams nice and flat. It doesn't matter to me if you press to one side or the other, or you decide to press your seams open. That's not as important as the quality of your pressing. Of course, we aren't distorting the fabric as we press, but we just make those seams nice and crisp. So I think the two best things you can do as a beginner quilter is keep your seam allowances accurate and consistent throughout your quilt making process, and also to make sure your pressing is nice and consistent as well. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for checking out these beautiful quilts that my customers have made, and I hope you'll keep sewing and quilting in your sewing room. If you need long arm quilting services, I'd love for you to check out my website. That's ladyfoxstitches.com, and you can email me there, or you can go ahead and fill out that book a quilt form, and I'll get in contact with you so that we can work together on finishing your quilts. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.